both of you.
Good evening.
Congratulations on the launch of this store. It looks lovely, and we all are elated to, explore the collection. So we would like to ask you a few questions about yourself, your background, and how the whole thing, the whole brand emerged. So if you can give us a brief on how this brand emerged, how did it, where did the ideation come
Well,
from?
very, very gladly so. But first of all, thank you for this overwhelming welcome. It feels as if all the press of Chennai can't even fit into the shop.
I'm glad.
So thank you very much for this warm welcome. Well, as you can see, we're not newcomers. We've been around for some time, and we started in Paris at a very different level, at high fashion, and some 20 years ago decided that we really needed to get into ready to wear, and moved to India and started experimenting. And it took a very long time to find out the right formula for India, because with the overwhelming amount of festive wear and wedding wear which we have in India, which is the segment of high fashion for our country here, it was important for us to get something which would be a totally different segment. And so we arrived at this level for this, which is also very expressive, but it's different, but it's at a day wear and a daily wear level of society. So it's also not a budget that you have to save for 20 years. It's affordable, and it encourages change. So we try to be up to date, modern in each collection, but we also pay attention of mixing and matching clothes from last season into the new season.
Yeah.
What I'm wearing is like 3 or 5 seasons old.
Yes, I mean that's something which amuses me. Like the concept of seasonless fashion that resonates very well with your brand. But then, how do you approach designing collections that transcend the traditional seasonal trends? Like how do you do that?
Well, you still have to give people something that they don't have. Otherwise, they won't come to you. I don't think you will make a big name with white T-shirts. I love white T-shirts. That's not
and then you pair it up with
yes, exactly. But our point of view is of making things a little bit more characteristic and giving them a bit more of a expression of the season. That the way we feel it's coming up, so that you are dressy and you can be dressed from morning to evening.
Perfect. So, can you describe how you approach the intersection of traditional Indian techniques and modern French design sensibilities in your collection?
It is very subtle. You can see there are some checks here which can be a vague recollection of Kanjipuram, very vague. You see, there's inspirations that you can find everywhere. India is a country which is so vibrant, full of graphics, full of botanics, full of beautiful architecture, beautiful culture, millennium of culture. And then you have such a strong culture here in the south, which is very often seems like a different country when you come to the north. Just like when you go to the north, it feels like a different country. It's a different weather, climate zone. It's a different language. It's a different people. It's a different language. Everything is different. So it's quite amazing how in India we have so many different countries that come together.
Yeah. And for you to bring two vibrant cultures of Indian and French, and then have like a solid, perfect marriage between these two.
Well, it's a funny story, because we change identities all the time. Because when we were in France, we were the Indians in Paris, and now we're the Frenchies in India.
So you were able to bring that because you had a hint of both the cultures in you. And
well, we had to turn it around.
Okay. Chennai is home to your latest store now, and what made you choose this city? And how do you see the local market embracing your designs?
Well, as far as I can judge, very warmly. I can see, well, it was a great encounter with Sunita ma'am and the family, and it was a collaboration which makes you feel even more welcome in the city. So I'm very, very grateful and happy to be here.
So glad that we have designers like you who can showcase here, because then we get to actually get the taste of both France and India in one place.
It's
And
yes, and it's a different story. Obviously, it's a different story than what you wear traditionally. So it's refreshing, and I think it corresponds to people. I mean, I don't see many people dressed traditionally right now. When I look at all of you people,
yeah, yeah.
you know. So in the day where it makes sense not to be traditional, and the evening where it makes sense to be traditional, there we are. Yeah.
Okay, sustainability is like a growing focus in the fashion industry now. How does your brand incorporate sustainable practices into its design and production processes?
Well, we try first of all to take as much natural fibers that as we can to use them. We do not print in a traditional manner. We do a lot of digital printing because that has much less waste. Um,
We do a lot of research on the
we
print.
do a lot of research on the prints and especially on the pigments to make sure that it's not too polluting. Of course, the clothing industry is polluting, unfortunately, but that is not a reason for us not to wear clothes.
Yes, absolutely.
You know,
We need
so
to
yes,
find,
I mean, people keep on going on and on about how the fashion industry is polluting. It's true, but do you see the amount of people that we are of the planet? And it's the number one preoccupation of everyone to have something new every day and to be looking in a different way. You express yourself by what you're wearing. So
so you can't do without clothes. So you might as well like have practices which.
yes, and everyone wants to stand out. Everyone wants to be different. Everyone wants to be special on every day in a different way.
What challenges have you faced while merging two distinct cultures, Indian and French, like into a cohesive brand? Did you face any challenges? If there were any, what were these?
Well, the challenge is precisely what is so how would I say so interesting, and sometimes you know and sometimes you don't know, and in both cases it's very interesting when you know something intricately, down to its roots. You can mix it with, like for us, fusion is because we know Western culture really well and we know Indian culture really well also. It's the two that come together. Very often people who make fusion one-sided fusion, and that's a different kind of a fusion.
So you want to reflect the Indo-French.
We want to reflect a global culture, but
Modernity.
but still local.
Perfect. Very well
Yes,
in one sense.
yes, it has to be. Yes, it has to have its own expression, its own roots where we are, but it has to have an outlook which is very international. I think just like you sitting in Chennai, you're on the internet and you're going all over the planet, just the same way.
Same way.
Same way. So that's a kind of life that I think everyone has nowadays, and this is what's exciting.
And if you can give us a little insight on where your manufacturing units are and what is your process of designing a collection? Like how does it start and
Well, we have to start really early. We have to start a year and a half ahead of time with the colors,
Certainly with the moon board and
with the mood board and the whole feeling of the collection. Excuse me, I speak a bit more because I'm quicker in English.
that's absolutely no worries at all.
So by finding colors which are a little bit different from what people have, that's the most important thing, is to make it. I mean, there's millions of colors which are around us. When you look at a color palette, there's millions of colors, and the human eye recognizes all the millions of colors. Yes. So just even a very, very slight difference already makes a hell of a difference for us when we're wearing it.
So the process starts about 1.5.
1.5 years,
1.5
up to 2 years before. If we're looking at a very specific weave, it can be 2 years. So it takes a long time. And of course, we don't have very huge productions. So it's we have to find units. We have units in our own organization, but we also have units which are specialized in certain things. So in some cases, it will be like you can see that white shirt, white on white, where it has embroidery on it, white on white embroidery, but you have to make sure that it can also be washed because this is a shirt. It's a poplin shirt,
Yeah, and it's white. So
and it's white, exactly. So it's unlike a lehenga, which will have 15 kilos of embroidery, which would only be dry cleaned, but maybe not at all because it just is worn maybe 5 times in your whole life.
yeah.
That's only pictures that it will last a lifetime. Yes.
So you have to make sure all of these things are taken care of while designing a collection.
So you have to keep that unique place for the garment that you're making in your wardrobe, and in your collection also. Make sure that it exists and it has its own place and it has its importance.
Right, right. And if you can give us a sneak peek into your future plans and what's lying in the pipeline in terms of growing your business in India and
We're looking forward to opening many more shops. Of course, we're going online already. We have our own. So first of all, jeans, as you can see, is the genetics of our fashion. So
okay.
that's why, yeah,
That's why the word.
that's why the word jeans. So and plus, it's a fun game because when you tell people about jeans, they think it's blue jeans, but it's not blue jeans. It's just our jeans.
Yeah. Yeah, you have
So,
to be specific about the
right.
spelling.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can go to jeans.com, Lecoanet or jeanstribe.com, and you'll find this shop that is online, and you can go directly. But then also we have started with online partners such as Tata Click and Nykaa and Myntra, and so you'll be finding them. They're just starting just these days while we speak. So there's a big boom this year, and of course we're looking for more partners for these kinds of shops because the selection will obviously be a bit different in a shop compared to an online shop. You know, and online you can go back in different selections of different collections, whereas here it'll all be just the latest stuff because that's what the people want when they come into a shop. They want the touch and feel experience.
Yeah. I was just about to say, like, even now I would want to come to a store, get the feel of the brand, and then if I want to buy online, of course there are options available.
Absolutely.
The store has
And I
its
mean,
charm.
our collaborators here will be telling you that if it's not available right here, we can get it for you online. You know, so yeah.
So then that's always the issue of stock and more variety that we want. To
Yes,
have.
absolutely.
And your take on what is the future of fashion industry in India and worldwide?
You know, for me, it's not an industry anymore. It's a cottage industry, and it's about millions of segments where everyone has its own niche. And that's really important, is that everyone will have a kind of a very unique take on fashion, and it's all this complementarity that really makes it so vibrant. Just look at how many people there are. You have to dress all of them. They all come to the same shop.
I like the way you think, like you're actually, trying to see like all of us and then identify how you can dress each of us. So it's amazing.
And you don't get all of them. You just get the ones that you really care for. I mean, obviously you'll be not going to the shops that you don't like.
That's how we all are here to like your problem. And would you like to give a brief about anything new that's come up in the shop? Is there a new collection that you've launched or?
Well, this is the new collection, which is called Soleil, which means sun in French, and it's about a reflection of the universe and how we have a special place right here on planet Earth, which is so exceptional. We haven't found anything near it as yet in anywhere in the universe. With all the telescopes and the rockets and the satellites that we have not found anything near it. So I think we can be pretty proud of being in a unique place.
Great. I'm so glad we got like a lot of information from you about the brand. Is there anything else that you would like to add? Anything that we are missing out, and something about your brand which will add that spark to end this session?
Well, it's jeans is actually to enjoy life.
Amazing. That's
So that is about it. So if you're enjoying it by yourself at home, you can wear something, of course, but you can go out with friends. You can go to a special party. You can go to a very special event. You can go to a business board meeting. You can do all these different things. It's really meant for you, for your jeans.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
And we wish you all the very best. And
Thank
we
you.
would love to see
Thank you.
ourselves in your collection.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.